Hello students, today we are going to discuss about class 7 science second part of first chapter. In the first part I have explained about what is nutrition, what is autotrophic nutrition, autotrophs, heterotrophs, photosynthesis. In this part I will explain you about the importance of photosynthesis and herbivores and especially heterotrophic nutritions and the types of heterotrophic nutritions. First of all, let us start about the importance of photosynthesis. Can you tell me what are the importance of photosynthesis? What will happen if photosynthesis occur? Then means first point I will tell you, plants store excess glucose as a starch. What happens? These plants store maximum glucose as in the form of starch, and this starch is being used by animals when the animals eat these plants. So directly or indirectly you can say this starch is also good for heterotrophs, for animals. Second point is the oxygen released after photosynthesis process is used by animals. Means if photosynthesis process is occurring, definitely they take carbon dioxide and they release oxygen, and this oxygen we human being, animals, we all specially used in respiration. Third point is photosynthesis helps us to maintain the balance between oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. If you just suppose that if there will be only plants, no animals, then what will happen? Everywhere oxygen, oxygen, oxygen. And if there will be no plants, everywhere animals will be there, everywhere carbon dioxide, carbon dioxide. So the atmospheric balance is necessary. So that's why the number of animals or the number of plants should be balanced, so they can release the oxygen and they can take the carbon dioxide. So that's why photosynthesis process is important. Photosynthesis helps us to maintain the balance between oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Now we will going to discuss about heterotrophic nutrition. For that I have to raise the board. After that I am telling you. Now we are going to discuss about heterotrophic nutrition, heterotrophs, parasitic plants, insectivorous plants, saprophytes, symbiotic plants, and returning nutrition to the soil. Before starting, I just want to ask you, have you heard about heterotrophic nutrition? I have told you in the types of nutrition, there are two types of nutrition, autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition, I have told you, an organism which can prepare their own food. This type of nutrition is called autotrophic nutrition, and this type of organisms are called autotrophs. Similarly, an organism which are dependent on autotrophic nutrition or autotrophs are called heterotrophic nutritions, means which cannot prepare their own food, which are dependent on autotrophs, plants. So this type of nutrition is called heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition means I have already informed you about the type of nutrition in which where an organism depend on other plants and animal, means any organism which are depending on plants and animals. So this type of organisms are called autotrophic nutrition, or this type of organisms are called autotrophs, and this type of nutrition is called heterotrophic nutrition. Now we are moving towards organism like animals. You may have seen some bacteria, some fungus which cannot prepare their own food, so they are dependent on some of the plants, some of the roots. Directly or indirectly they are dependent on the plant, so that's why they are called heterotrophs, and this type of nutrition is called heterotrophic nutrition. Now let's come to the point of parasitic plants. First of all, you should know about what is parasitic plants. Some plants use modified roots that help them to get nutrients from another plants. Means, as for example, you just suppose there is one plant which plant cannot get the nutrition, so they are dependent on another plants to get the nutrition. So that's why I'm telling you, so a parasite is an organism that get its nutritions from another plant or another living organism. Means parasitic plants are the plants which get their food or their nutritions from the another living or another plants. So that type of plants are called parasitic plants. There are two types of parasitic plants, partially parasitic and totally parasitic. What do you mean by partially and totally? Partially means little bit, half or more than half, and totally means 100% full. So the living organism which are partially derived, or you can say that parasitic derives which are dependent that some of the food I can prepare and some of the food I am dependent on the another plant. So it is called partially parasitic. Dodal and mistletoe are the totally parasites, means these two plants are 100% dependent on another plant for their nutrition. So that's why it's called totally parasite. And if I talk about the partial parasite, mistletoe are partially parasite. And if I talk about the dodder, so dodder is you know very well dodder. So the dodder is totally parasitic, which is dependent 100% on another plant for their nutritions. Now I want to inform you about these two things, that what is the meaning of totally and what is the meaning of partial. Means you may have seen that in the mango tree there are some host. What is the host? Means it is a big structure on the mango trees, just like just human beings are in good tree. Na? Similarly, in the mango branch, you will see a big type of host is there. So that host do not prepare their own food. They are dependent on that mango tree. So that mango tree, whatever the nutrition they take, they give to the host for the development. So this type of nutritions are called partially parasite. Okay, now I am going to tell you about the insectivorous plants. What is the meaning of insectivorous plants? Insectivorous plants means some plants do not prepare their food. They are dependent on insects. Have you heard about the Venus plants? Have you heard about the flytrap, Venus flytrap? So these type of plants are getting the nutrition from the insects. What happens? These plants open their mouth. When the insect come inside it, they close their mouth, they take the juice of that insect and get their nutrition. So insectivorous plants means a plant which get the nutrition from bacteria, insects. So this type of plant is called insectivorous plants, and the example is Venus flytrap. Now the next topic is saprophytes. What is the meaning of saprophyte? How many of you have heard about mushroom? How many of you have heard about the other other plants which are dependent on dead bodies or humus? So I hope all of you have heard about the mushroom plant. Mushroom plants do not get nutrition by the green plants or chlorophyll. So these are getting nutrition from the dead living organism, or whereas the dung, cow dung, you will see, and the cow dung also some of the mushroom grows. Means the saprophytes are that type of plants which get nutrition from the dead organisms. So that is called saprophytes. The example is mushroom. Symbiotic plants. Symbiotic plants means you can say just it is a mutual. Symbiotic means both are dependent on each other. If one plant is giving this, as for example, you may have seen on the buffalo, sometimes cows, sometimes some birds comes and sit on it. So birds take their insects from them, and cow's body is also clean. Means symbiotic. By this process, cow's body or buffalo's bodies are also clean, and that type of bird also gets some food. So symbiotic means both are dependent on each other for the nutrition, is called symbiotic plants. Returning nutrition to the soil. You will see what happens when any farmer just put any crops in their field. So what happens? They lose their nutrition from while giving that crops productions. Now again, this humus go into the soil and give the nutrition to the soil. So this was our chapter. First chapter, nutrition in plants. If you have any doubt in this chapter, then please comment below this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. This was our first chapter. Later on, I'll explain about your second chapter. That's all for today. Thank you.